10th of March, 2021. A regular after-school game guide session like any other, and I was helping the kids make their games just like any other Wednesday. I was helping one kid in particular work on their platformer game, and I was stepping them through some code that I had written, and so I had it up on the board, and they were in the process of copying it down. They were taking quite some time, and so I froze the board as so not to disturb their work, but it meant that I could work on my screen, and thus the cogs started to turn. Wall friction had always been a big issue in Unity physics, but that's what caught my eye. What if there was a game that relied solely upon wall friction itself? Throughout the rest of the lesson, I continued to tutor the kids as usual, but every time I had a little bit of breathing room, I'd freeze the screen and put the mechanics in place, and by the end of the session, I had a prototype. You could jump around, regaining your jump when colliding with walls, and respawning if colliding with the ground. I saw something in this, and so I decided to idly post it in the media channel on the Discord server. That's all I needed to hear. That following Friday, social plans for the night were cancelled. I was left stranded at home with no real motivation to play any game, so I thought, why not make one? I cracked open the project from the game guide session and grinded all night until I had a playable game, quite similar to the Muris you all know and love today. When I arose from my slumber, I sent the demo off to Varn once again, inquiring some feedback. This process continued until I began to refine the game, polishing the controls and visuals, eventually adding proper UI and a main menu. It was at this moment Muris was born. That very same day, after grinding development, I put up an announcement with the very first official Muris build on the itch page. It was a hit. People had some gripes about the handling and some quality of life things, but through the issues, people saw the thing that Varn had seen. The same thing that I had seen. Potential. With the support of the community behind me, I began the development speedrun. There were new levels and in-game platforms and objects flying around left and right and center. I added unlockable skins for players to grind for, implementing a great emphasis on actual speedrunning, an aspect of the game that was rising in popularity and would soon become core to Muris' identity. I hosted a Muris speedrunning stream, and it was our most successful stream to date. The people actually liked it. But this was only the beginning. The biggest feature was yet to come, the custom level editor. The people who had been absorbing the content about this game could now make the game themselves. People could design and share their own levels within the community. Many custom level streams ensued and better accessibility for the level editor was added, having exporting and importing built directly into the client itself. Things were looking up. I continued to add more and more features to Muris, and people were only getting more and more involved. This was it. I could tell. This needed to be secured. I can't imagine what would happen if I lost all of this work that I had grinded out for the community. I needed to back it up on GitHub in case of the worst. My SSD died as I was setting up the Muris GitHub repo. But you know what? I wasn't going to let the world stop me. Muris was the best thing I had ever created, and I wasn't going to let it slip from my grasp. I had to take advantage of this, spin the tragedy into an opportunity, and that's exactly what I did. I took all the feedback that had culminated over the past 2 months, crafting the game back from the ground up with the new infrastructure in mind. I had learned from the development of Muris. I had to work out all this new stuff, but now I knew how to do all that stuff, and I was going to do it better. Tighter controls, tighter speedrunning, tighter level creating, and tighter menus. Muris was gone, and in its place, Muros was born.